Now, the scandal of Russian involvement in the US elections has dominated the headlines both during and now after the campaign. But the allegations that surfaced this week almost seem like something out of a spy novel.
Yes, there have been repeated clashes between Donald Trump and American intelligence chiefs since allegations came to light that Russia may have tried to hack into and leak documents to sway the election in his favour.
The incoming president repeatedly questioned the credibility of the information, branding it a political witch hunt. Although he's now conceded Russia may have had access to official documents.
Earlier this week, news came that more memos had been circling Washington, this time suggesting that Russia had compromising information on Donald Trump's private and business life.
And this is the man said to be behind the claims, Christopher Steele, a British ex-MI6 agent who's now in hiding. Joining us now from Brussels, former MI5 intelligence officer Annie Machon. Very good morning to you. Thank you for your time this morning. Annie, there's a lot of material there. Some of it, as we said earlier, you couldn't really make up. Let's just deal with the most recent part of that equation. This dossier from Christopher Steele, unsubstantiated, many people say. What do you make of that part of this story?
I'd say that it's certainly very unsubstantiated at this point. It seems to be more just gossip and tittle-tattle with this man, Christopher Steele, through his company, has been pulling together. And it doesn't even seem like a finished report. It's very much like a first draft, which is very dangerous because he hadn't fully obscured some of the sources. They're easily identifiable, which is very dangerous to do in the intelligence context. And, you know, it's full of factual errors as well. So it's a bit of a risible attempt, I would suggest, to try and smear Donald Trump.
But what did happen, and we know this, is that the CIA presented this to President Obama, amongst others, Donald Trump as well. So it came out. It became a public document and others published because of that presentation, which has presented Donald Trump with a problem in relation to his ongoing issues with his own security services. What do you make of that relationship just, a week before he becomes president?
I think it's a very dangerous ground at the moment. I can't see how it's going to recover as a working relationship. The CIA has been trying every which way they can, apparently, to delegitimize Donald Trump's election by claiming the Russians interfered with it. And again, they have put reports out, but none of these reports have actually contained any evidence. So they're still unsubstantiated claims. Now, Trump, of course, is taking this very personally. And I think that when he's inaugurated, unless some other scandal is leaked by the CIA next week that actually finally blocks this, when he's inaugurated, he will then take on the CIA. He's certainly putting in a new chief, and he's talked about slimming down the organisation, about getting rid of old agents and reforming the way they work, because they are effectively running out of control at the moment.
Well, it's an interesting area, this, isn't it? Because one of the reasons why Donald Trump has been so popular is that he is an anti-establishment figure. But then, when you become president, the thought of a president in that position being at odds with his own security advisors, his teams, the CIA, the FBI, whoever it might be, that can't carry on, can it?
It can't carry on, no, but I think, in fact, the CIA has become overweening over the last 15 years since 9/11. They've got to remember that they are there to serve at the pleasure of the president, and they're there to serve the interests of the American people. And you know, they are the servants of this country. So they need to be really put back in their box. And I think this is what Donald Trump will be trying to do. And he's probably one of the few people who's tough enough to be able to take them on and potentially win. But it is a very high-risk game. And I don't think the CIA would have taken on Donald Trump in this way if they hadn't been, in their own terms, confident of actually winning, being able to control him and bend him to their will. Now, Trump, of course, is very unpredictable, so it remains to be seen whether or not he can be bent.
Annie Machon, thank you very much for your time this morning. Annie Machon is a former MI5 intelligence officer speaking to us via Skype this morning.